Okay, this is chapter or episode 14, I think, of the Fool's Journey, and it's when the Fool meets the Temperance Card. And today is I think it's the 11th of April 2010, and I want to quickly at the beginning mention a website I found a few weeks ago. It's www.tarotguild.com. I'll put the address on screen. And I don't like to tell people what to do, so I'm going to say if you go to the Tarot Guild and take a look, you may well be pleasantly surprised by what you find there. You can join for free, get your own page, have your own blog. There are forums, there are discussion groups, and it hasn't been around for that long, but it looks very promising. So it's all put together by a fellow called Dax Carlisle, and he's done a lot of work to get it working this well so quickly. Okay, so take a look at that site and see what you think. So here we are. It's the Fool's Journey, and the Fool comes down from the mountain, goes along the road and meets the various major trumps, and at a certain point he comes to the Wheel of Fortune. And in earlier videos I thought, okay, wheel is going round, day, night, night, day. This is like he's now coming into life, okay? And we've got a card, and then we've got the Hanged Man, which makes me look up. The Hanged Man, it seems to me like the motion is downward, right? Which can also represent looking within. So before the Hanged Man, you've got cards that maybe deal with what's out in the world. But after the Hanged Man and with the Hanged Man, we're looking at what's within you and within the individual. That's what's to be worked on, maybe, rather than looking at situations in the world. And then we get death. So death can be the end, because companies exist and then they go out of business and people lose jobs, and that's the end of the job. And if you think about it, there used to be a Roman Empire and there used to be a British Empire, but there is no Roman Empire anymore and there is no British Empire. So death can represent stuff that is no more, or things that no longer have normal existence. So death can be saying, that's it, it's all over, stop, go and do something else. However, if you want to continue, right, with whatever it is you've been doing, if you're going to continue along that path, there have to be major changes. And that can be why the death card represents major changes. You can't keep on doing the same thing you've been doing and expect different results. So there has to be the introduction of something new, right now or next or soon. There has to be a different foundation, let's say, on which you're building. And that's all very well. So how is it going to be done? The Temperance Card. Because the Temperance Card is the first card, the first step, let's say, after death. And it can be about what has to happen if there's going to be more life, assuming that you don't want to go back to the very beginning and start again, which can be part of what's involved with death. So with the Temperance Card, it can be offering the Fool advice if he wants to continue developing in the direction in which he has enjoyed going. So you think of the word temperance, and if you temper, T-E-M-P-E-R, if you temper metal, what you're doing is you're burning off impurities so that the metal becomes strong, or it becomes stronger. And so with the Temperance Card, what is the Temperance Card all about? It's all about, one part of what it's all about is becoming stronger. When it's upside down, you don't realize you need to become stronger, or you're not going to do what it takes to become stronger. So with temperance, you're burning off impurity, getting rid of stuff that really doesn't belong, or things that are undermining you, or things that are holding you back. And that's why you can't be as strong as you would be if you got rid of the impurities. So how is this going to be done? So maybe what is, the what for this card is become stronger. And the question, or the other part of it is, how is this going to be done? So, if you go to a gym and pay somebody to work the weights and work the machines, they develop the muscle, they become stronger, and you don't. And that can be the first lesson that the Temperance Card teaches the Fool, that at a certain point in the process, you have to do it. Nobody can do it for you. You have to, get your hands dirty or face things or deal with stuff or whatever it happens to be. You can no longer, or there's no point in closing your eyes and hoping it will go away or hoping that somebody else will do it for you, because that's not what this card is about. If somebody does it for you, the problem's solved, but you're no stronger, you're no better. You're not more able to live a fuller life. And so with the Temperance card, part of it is you have to do it yourself. And how do you do that? If you look at the attitude of the individual here, how do you get things done? You pay attention, because he's paying attention to what's going on between the flow between the two cups. You focus, you concentrate, you look at the situation. You don't look away from it. You look at it and you deal with it, and you figure things out. And it's a bit like he's standing in water and on the earth. It's a bit like you've got a situation. You have to get it to be not too wet and not too dry. And how do you do that? You actually look at it and deal with it and get your hands dirty. And if it's too dry, you add some water. If it's too wet, you do something to figure out how to dry it up a bit. So, if you're willing to look at the situation, you're going to know, you're going to sense when it's not right. And the thing is, at that point, the question is, will you continue to look? And the advice of the card can be, don't leave things undone. When you know that something isn't right, or isn't ready, or isn't finished, finish it. Make the effort, and make yourself finish it. If you do that, you become stronger. If you don't do it, you're going to continue to be weak. Sometimes we've got this energy going back and forth between the two cups. So sometimes the lesson of the card is going to be get the blend right and turn what it is into a workable shape. And maybe you need to blend different people. So maybe you're paying somebody to do work for you and they're not doing enough, but it's your friend, so you don't want to get rid of them. So you have to look at the situation and examine it and turn it into something that you're comfortable with. So maybe you say, look, I need the work done, so I'm going to have to pay somebody else. I'll pay you a bit, but either do exactly what I'm asking, or I'm going to have to get somebody else, so I'm going to pay you less, but you're my friend and I like you, and I want you around. So do you know what I mean? So by actually examining the situation and dealing with it in a hands-on kind of a way, you end up stronger and less able to be undermined. Or maybe it's your thoughts that you need to blend in some way. So you say, okay, I want success, but at the same time you think, wait a minute, I'm no good. I don't deserve success. And so you've got moving in one direction, moving it in the opposite direction. So it really cancels each other out. So with the Temperance card, and if you're in that kind of situation, you want something, but at the same time you maybe think you don't deserve it. The Temperance card is saying focus. If you decide you want to become stronger or you want something, and you pay attention to the ideas and the thoughts that come to you having made that decision, and if you don't just pay attention to the thoughts but follow them through, you will have success guaranteed. Okay, next, the Fool meets the devil.